Hey guys, welcome to Franklin Woodworks. Well, it's on now. Remember I had a commenter that told me his polished hand planes were the ones that didn't rust? And that he reminded me that I had a lathe tool handle I polished 21 months ago and hasn't rusted in spite of being in my sweaty hands for hours? Well, that caused me to polish my bandsaw table as an experiment. I went up to 2000 grit paper, and this piece of cast iron is shiny. But it has a lot of pitting due to past rust issues, and that may ultimately compromise the test. But that was 10 days ago, and I've got not the slightest hint of rust so far. And I've used the bandsaw quite a bit, milling up some white oak slabs. I've kept sawdust off of it between uses, and every day I run my hands all over the table, possibly introducing a little salt into the picture. No rust, so far so good. But another commenter informed me that my lathe tool handle may have been protected by the wax in the polishing compound I used. Sure enough, I checked, and the polishing compound is suspended in something pretty thick, and the label even says, perfect for all metals, shines, and protects. So this calls for a test that compares apples to apples to apples. This is my table saw. On the left, I treated that section with fluid film 22 days ago. Still slick and no rust. The center section in between the miter slots was treated with Colonite double coat auto wax, and on the right was more fluid film. This will be a good test for the Colonite, and I know that the fluid film will do just fine, but polishing the cast iron of my table saw, well, if I did one section, that would give me 3 test surfaces, all made of the same cast iron, milled in the same factory, to the same level of smoothness. So, using xylene, I stripped all of the fluid film off of the right side of the table saw and kept cleaning until the paper towel came away clean. Then I went through the grits of sandpaper. I started with 320 to 600, then 600 wet or dry sandpaper using WD-40 as a lubricant, then 1000, 1500, and 2000. While you're watching me sand, several commenters informed me that if I really wanted polyurethane to stick to the cast iron, which by the way is what got this whole experiment started, and I've got several videos on the subject if you want to go back a few months in my videos. But if I wanted the poly to stick to the cast iron, I'd have to etch the surface with some kind of an acid, whether it be vinegar or something more acidic than that. I think poly is great on cast iron when it will stick, but I don't think I'm willing to degrade my cast iron just to get it to stick. Although I think it would work, it seems like at that point it forces your hand on keeping some kind of protection on the surface. An etched piece of cast iron just seems like it would be a rust machine if you didn't stay on top of it. And not staying on top of it is what this whole experiment is about. Anyway, so after the sanding, I cleaned the table again with xylene until the paper towel came away clean. Then I got some Mother's Mag and aluminum polish, which is the same thing I used on my lathe tool, and started polishing. Using the buffer didn't work out so well, so eventually I settled on using my random orbital sander again with a microfiber cloth, using no pressure whatsoever, so that the disc would spin as freely as possible. After about 10 minutes of polishing, I broke out the xylene again and started cleaning. I didn't want anything left on the table that may act as a protectant. So here's the end result. On the left is fluid film, in the center is Colonite, and on the right is bare cast iron that has been polished. You can even see the reflection of the cabinets in the back of my shop. So that's the test. If you want to skip to the end, I can wholeheartedly recommend fluid film as a fantastic product. Before I treated it 22 days ago, which was for the benefit of making a video, it had been 4 months since I treated it, and absolutely no rust. So far so good on the Colonite, but the jury is still out on that. What I can say is that it is much better than plain old paste wax. If you're going to use the Colonite though, do yourself a favor and take heed of the many warnings on YouTube about how to apply it. It's not hard, It's just different, and different than applying regular paste wax. Anyway, I wanted to give you a quick update and fill you in on the latest experiment. Maybe this information will help you out in your shop. Subscribe if you're interested, and ring that bell so you can get all of the updates. Thanks for watching, and there you go.